Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be breaking down clockwork legs. I've heard it called a couple other things. I refer to it as clockwork legs. Basically it's any movement where you are going to be making a circle, right, flat like a clock face with your legs. I do recommend, of course, as with any movements, that you warm up before you start working on this. It looks a little more mystifying than it actually is. It's actually pretty simple. So we're going to start with a version that's a little bit more basic than what's in the actual choreography. I think that learning the easier one first is going to make it a lot less mystifying, and it's also going to be less stress on your wrists than to try and learn it in the full movement. By the way, warm up your wrists before you do this. I also recommend stretching out your hamstrings before you do this so that you can get a little bit better extension and a little bit nicer of lines. So what you'll do for the beginning version is we're just going to lay on our back and then sit in like a pike, basically. So you'll bring your legs up. It's like the home position for Pilates essentially. What we'll do is we'll bring our legs up from here. You're just going to keep one leg straight, and then bending at the knee, you're going to bring your foot inwards, down, and then back up. And you can also do this in the other direction too. So you will go across, down, out, and up, and then out, down, across, and up. Once you get comfortable doing your clockwork legs just lying flat on the ground, it's not very pretty, right? It's not exactly what you want it to look like. Go ahead and try it in that candlestick position just to get really comfortable with the movement before we start to take it up. So again, warm up your wrists before you do this, but you'll go into that candlestick. So piking, lifting your hips off the ground, and then putting your hands under your hips and resting on your elbows. Okay, and finally, once you are comfortable with it both on the floor and in that candlestick position, we'll go ahead and we'll do the full thing. So what you're doing for this is a little bit different than just keeping your knees squeezed together. So you're actually going to open your legs. So, well, one leg. So one leg is going to straddle out. Here is where you'll want to really externally rotate from the hip. So think about driving your heel back towards whatever is behind you. You will be switching over towards an internal rotation at the end of the move, and that is when your legs cross over. So what you're doing is actually setting yourself up like a tripod. So your wrists are going to be out to the side and really pushing down into the floor, so you're putting a lot of weight in your hands. Your hips are going to come off the ground. You can either do this move flat-footed towards the front, or you can make it a little more challenging for yourself and actually come up onto like demi-point. It's entirely up to you, whatever feels more comfortable for you. If you do come up onto demi-point, it's going to make it a lot more challenging, so make sure that you have the core strength to do that. We'll start with whatever leg out towards the side. Remember, externally rotated. You're going to bring your toes in, so think about leading with your heel, really. Bring your heel in, inwards, downwards. We're going to re-rotate and then bring the leg up and over, and then drop that foot in that cross-kneed position. So that's half of the move. And now for the other part of the move, we're just going to do it in reverse. So you're bringing you're uncrossing your legs to bring your foot up towards your face. Bring your toes outwards, downwards, and then inwards, and then finish again externally rotating just flat out to the side. So the other thing that's really important here is to make sure that you're really pushing down, engaging, right? Push into the floor, lift your chest, really supporting yourself. You don't want to be here. This isn't a very sexy, super hot look for anybody. And what I prefer to do, just as a reference, I prefer to also rotate outwards from my shoulders. So you're not just putting your palms flat down, but really pushing out It helps me to stay engaged in my scapula especially, and that really adds to the look. Alright guys, that's all for this video. I hope you liked it, hope you learned something. Hopefully this looks a little bit less like sorcery than it did at the beginning. If you did like the video, make sure that you subscribe. There's more to come. Also consider giving it the thumbs up. You know, those are things that are completely free. You can always change your mind later if you want to, but it does really help me out as a creator. Okay, toodles! Okay, so once you get comfortable with that, this is, just for the record, this is what's happening right now.